YouTube Nation, Maven TV, aka me TV, aka the fire inside, and I pull like this. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I'm talking about when I mean the fire inside today. I got a little bit to show you guys, but before I get started, I want to talk about soccer, and I'm put like this. From now on, I'm not gonna call you guys soccer fans. No, I may call it sporty, but I'm not calling you soccer fans. From now on, I'm gonna call you FCers. All right, out of respect, out of higher respect. All right, for those who did not see the Man City QPR game, this is exactly why you want to watch soccer. This is crazy. Coming down for so many goals is just unbelievable, all right? But that's not all. This had to be the best game I've ever seen when it comes to men's soccer. That's right. Now, last time I said it was women's soccer, I said it was the best game I've ever seen. But this one takes the cake. We had a new competitor, new champion, if you want to say that, all right? This game was so great, and it twists and turns. There was so much drama, and the crowd was amazing, all right? But what did piss me off a little bit was the flopping in the beginning.
All people start to worry. Cisse, they didn't give him a second, but he was caught there by Marbury. It'll be a free kick. Just freestyle, wasn't it? He's very aware, Rivalry Cisse, that he's cost Queen's Park Rangers for being suspended for 7 games.
That is absolutely pathetic. You know, as far as I'm concerned, he needs to start giving out yellow cards for flopping. How do you hit the tip of his one foot, but his other leg gives out? Come on, man. But you know what? With the hot crowd, Man City knew they had to score first to relieve the tension.
The whole stadium is sort of collective breath. Unlikely goal scorer. How was he popped up there? Look at those fans. Look at what it means. Look at David Platt as well. Rather more subdued Roberto Mancini. Oh, how priceless is that? Yeah, we spent some company last week against Manchester United. The turn was defensive partner. Pablo's on the letter. And they've gone through to the old Pussland celebration. And as that news filters through, it gets a bit worse for QPR because Bolton have equalised through Mark Davis and stay. Remember, Bolton need to win that to stay up.
And even though the tension was relieved a little for the crowd, it actually boiled over to QPR, who felt they weren't getting fair enough calls.
There's a bit of argy-bargy there. Oh, and that is a red card offence, and that is exactly what Mike Dean has given. He's got it right. Joey Barton, back at Manchester City, gets a red card, and that is the 9th of the season for Queen's Park Rangers, which is a Premier League record equally. Oh, now then, what's he gone and done there as well? I think he's hit it well. Well, Barton has disgraced himself here and maybe cost his club a place in the Premier League. And it turns out we're going out of 10, cost them their position in this league. It is all kicking off here. Temper spoiling over, and Barton, you've got to say it, he's been stupid. Ah, ridiculous here, absolutely ridiculous. It's 1-1. Just sending off a voted stupid. It just needs. Right, so another one, isn't it? That would have been 2 reds in one game. He's already got the red. Ridiculous. Looked like he was looking for further.
After emotions got out of hand, all it did was wake QPR up, fired them up, I should say, and they came to play.
Can you get the cross right? He might do it! Oh, Queen's Park Rangers have taken the lead! It's Jamie Mackey! Can you believe this? Oh my goodness me! Head in hands moment, QPR have probably had about 3 attacks in this game. They've scored with 2 of them. How would they score from this? What a lovely ball by Shane, what a great one.
Mackie diving header, thank you very much. Sloppy defensive play again by Manchester City. Lovely ball in. Good movement by Amare. Who's picking up Jamie Mackie? Manchester City got about 5 or 6 defenders left and 3 red shirts in there.
After that goal, QPR set into a defensive mindset, even though Man City was on the attack. But Man City fans felt that their backs were against the wall, and they were so frustrated that it started to spill over into the crowd.
Cost $160,000 from Plymouth Argyle, Jamie Mackie, and some of the City fans in tears. Mackie.
It's absolutely incredible, isn't it? Not happy.
QPR straight up. Well, they can't throw the towel in yet. Strange things have happened. They already have here.
The announcers constantly spoke about how the fans should not give up faith, and that even though frustration is boiling over, you still have to believe in your team. And the thing is, they knew that, the players knew, that if Manchester City did not take one last shot at this, that Manchester United would have won. That's what it came down to. And then Manchester City decided to make a run at history.
Desperate Manchester City, you've got to get on with this pretty quickly now. Aguero looking for the 1-2 Balotelli, drops Aguero, he can win it. Oh, it's won the title, surely for Manchester City. An unbelievable finish, 2 goals in stoppage time. Has the title ever been won more dramatically than that? Who is writing this stuff?
Oh my God!
The team who came back from the dead. This is beyond belief. It is the 30th goal of the season, but that's academic. He will never, I don't think, score a more important one. Look at the party breaking out. They'd given up hope. They'd given up hope a few weeks ago. They'd given up hope a few minutes ago.
Absolutely.
And now this.
The thing is, the Queen's Park Rangers, the QPR bench is up, celebrating.
And Uncle Thomas, Manchester City, after 44 years, have won the title in the most dramatic style you could ever imagine. One day there will be a Hollywood movie about this.
I don't believe it. And you have to say on the other side here, well done QPR, they stayed in the Bargains Premier League themselves. But I have never, ever witnessed an ending to a Premier League tie like this.
Confirmation amid the celebrations. As you said, Macca, it has finished 2-2. Stoke Bolton, QPR stay up, and on the evidence today they deserve to stay up. Mass invasion of the pitch. Most of these fans, of course, are way too young to remember the previous win in the championship in 1968. What price for City to do that with 90 minutes on the clock?
100 to 1, didn't they? Talk about the agony, the emotions that this Manchester City side put there.
Some of them, they must have thought they had another title in their pocket. This has been one vintage season. Voted this week as the greatest ever Premier League season. One or two people raised an eyebrow, and I don't think they will be now.
And the City players are still there. Isn't Joe? I can see Joe after the ball that. Trying to walk off there, Joe Hart pushing people out the way.
Somewhere in the middle of all of that, there is some match players, so you won't mind, I'll be dollars to make the stream become real, but become real it has.
Yeah, he probably can't believe it, can he? You can have all the money in the world here, but you can't buy things like this.
Look at the contrast in emotions. United fans at Sunderland, but this, at last, at long last, is Manchester City's day. Both sides finish on 89 points, and Manchester United fans, well, you have to say that it's heartbreaking for them at this time. I don't think any side has got 89 points before and finished second.
Is Liam Gallagher enjoying himself as the champagne toast?
It's unlikely, isn't it?
Yeah, he wasn't feeling like this 10 minutes ago. I thought the world was about to end, and suddenly, Edson said, "Go, give it away."
I think a party will be an understatement. Manchester City Centre tonight.
As the crowd rioted, they had to take 2 different commercial breaks. That's right, 2, or at least that's what they showed here, so that they can get the crowd off the field so they can have the actual ceremony.
They've got some company as Manchester City champions, literally.
Here it comes in.
Mike Sullivan and Tony Book bringing up City legends. That is not a moment we were expecting to see for a long period of the second half today.
Yeah, that's it.
Roberto Mancini, I thought, at times during that game, he was going to lose all his hair. Talk about putting your fans through the mill.
I mean, he must be as perplexed as we all were, because he was so comfortable with Manchester City. Half time, no problems, and then suddenly it all changes. The blink of an eye. They've got the resilience, the power, the attitude to fight back and get themselves back in the game. Very proud moment for him and all the Bryz.
3 times winning coach and the title winner in Serie A in Italy, Roberto Mancini with Inter, and then as a player too. And there it is, the trophy. This is the moment they've waited for at the Etihad. It's not too big, but it means that Manchester City are the champions of the Premier League. Cue the party. It might go on for a little while, I think. Nobody's going home early.
No. I don't know where the party is tonight, Ian, but we're going to go and find it.
You normally do. But what a great season, fitting entry. A heartbreaker for Manchester United, who looked good.
Even though it was a great game, an amazing game, that was a greater ending. I feel like this, that was perfect. Absolutely perfect. The camera angles, like the guy said, who writes this stuff? They're going to make a movie about this. I'm sure they will. It was amazing to see that. The only regret I have of this game is not being there in person. That is the single greatest celebration I have seen in sports, hands down. I'm not trying to hear basketball. I'm not trying to hear football. I'm not trying to hear the parades. And no. That is the greatest thing. I feel like, unless you're a rival, if you're a rival, understand you didn't like it. All right, I definitely understand if you're a rival. But if you have no allegiance to these teams like I do, I don't have any allegiance to them. All right, I put it like this. That is something that you have to be happy to see and proud of. That's what sports should be about. All right, and if you can't see that, then you have no soul, as far as I'm concerned. That is crazy. You're not a real sports fan. Now, I do want to talk to the rivals real quick. Arsenal, I will say now, I will be covering you guys because you guys came in 3rd place. I will be covering you guys later in the week, all right, because I watched the game as well. Manchester United fans, all right, you guys said 2 weeks ago, I believe, that You didn't respect Manchester City due to the fact that they spent so much money on this team to win, to get to where they're at today. That's what you had said to me, and I didn't know how much they actually spent. And you said that they flew in billionaires to get this done. And if you listen to the commentary as I was showing the clips, the guy does say they spent like $1.5 billion on this team. Now, I don't know how much Manchester United spends on their teams. I really don't. But I will leave that discussion for you guys, in the comments, because I really don't know how, that rivalry will play out. But this should fire you guys up for next time. It really should. That should be a great rivalry if this keeps up, as far as I'm concerned. Now, I need to move on, guys, because I want to talk about some of you guys' requests. You guys had asked me about the documentary that I'm doing. You want to see a little bit of footage. Actually, last week, I had a number of messages asking me, can we see just a little bit? Well, no problem. For those who follow me on Twitter, over the weekend, I actually had a chance to talk to someone finally, you know what I mean? An upcoming sports agent who actually does a lot of work within the community himself. That's right. Now, this is not the entire interview, but I'll let you guys see a little bit of it. And please don't mind the camera. I will explain after the interview how everything went down. It was a tough interview, not to talk to the guy, but just the way it's shot, okay? I'll explain that afterwards. So let's take a look at what it looks like. I'm at 10th and Bainbridge with Mr.
Williams,
and his occupation is?
car processor with Hyundai and Kia.
Okay, and right now you're doing what, talent scout?
In the process of becoming a sports agent, NBA agent, baseball agent, hockey agent, or various top sports.
All right, now you also have some recreational things that you're doing as well, right? To renovate certain parks?
Yes, I'm right now in the process of renovating 18th and Catherine. I've seen on TV how they make a Final Four floor, so I'm very interested in it, and I love to see the basketball courts, nice looking, because they're right at the playground, the baseball diamond is immaculate there. So I wanted to bring that up to a little bit of speed so people can come play on Saturday and Sunday mornings there and feel safe to play.
Okay. And how do you feel right now about how the city right now is going about renovations as opposed to what they're doing with City Hall and spending all this money, for pretty much cosmetic issues?
Well, I'm a little upset that they're not taking interest in our youth and renovating the playground so the kids can have somewhere place safe to play. A lot of playgrounds you see a lot of glass, backboards, rims broken up. I don't think they're taking enough interest in our youth and giving them something constructive to do.
All right. Do you feel that because they don't have anything constructive to do you feel that how do I put this? Forwards, or should I say, escalates, I should say, to the crime that's going on right now?
I think it plays a big part, because if you're not engaging the youth, they would definitely go to the opposite direction. But if you're engaging them and giving them something positive to do, they would basically stay on the right path. It wouldn't be so much, violence like they've been doing, angry and rushing people at different stages of their life.
Now, here's the thing. I had just talked to not too long ago, actually early today, a couple hours ago, to the police in Princeton and Somerset. And they were parked out in front of the L because, for those who don't know, all right, there's they have a big deal with, fiends, crackheads, in the community, and a lot of people do not like to walk, up that way. We're talking mothers, grandmothers, people who have to go to work, kids that go to school. And what bothers me is that the police were there, so they did do their job for one day, you know what I mean? And I went over to him and I said to him, thank you for, doing a good job in keeping these people at bay due to the fact that a lot of people are afraid to come up here, But do you feel as though more could be done?
Yes, I think a lot more could be done because, as you know, they've taken a lot of money out of schools and putting it in prisons. And my thinking is they don't really care about how our youth grow up. They're more concerned about getting these prisons ready to house them rather than educate people.
Now, here's the thing about education. We've noticed as of late there's a lot of schools being closed down, a lot of public schools, a lot of private schools. I understand private schools, whatever, private investing. But a lot of public schools are being closed down now, and a lot of kids are being relocated to different areas that they don't want to go to. Now, my question is to you, do you think that with sports, the way we, since we're a big sports town, do you think that maybe sports could save a couple lives, keep kids off the streets, and actually give them, even if they don't venture into a sports career, that activity of keeping them positive? Do you think that will actually impact their lives further in the future?
Yes, I do. Anytime you have a child engaged as a child that's not involved in something negative, You know, and I noticed that they also took a lot of the music and art. See, those are things that positively affect our children. If they're not engaged in those type of activities, what else are they engaged in?
Yes, and then that's the thing. A lot of them, it's a lot of, crime.
Exactly.
And here's the thing. Now, you said that you were working on your own summer league, right? Now, I want to give you a chance to talk about your league real quick.
What I do is every summer I do a basketball tournament, one-day tournament. It's an 8-team tournament, and I do that in honor of my daughter that passed away in 2000 at Howard University. We were in the process of going to, once she graduated from Howard and I graduated from St. Joe's, we were going to go to law school together to be high-profile lawyers. But unfortunately, she passed freshman year orientation week. So I've been, pushing forward with this event. And I started with the help of a lawyer friend, Darren Morgan, in 2003. And this year is my 10th year. So I really want to do the court up nice. And everybody comes out and have a good day. We play basketball. I have bouncing balloons for children and also music. And I do that music part is for healing of people. People come out in the neighborhood at that neighborhood. And they really have a nice day of relaxation. And the community comes together.
And that, that's what it's about. It's about community because, as we all know, the city pretty much takes care of itself, but it's up to all of us, to take care of each other when it comes to community. When one is down, another has to pick each other up. Which is why I'm trying to get some of these places renovated so that we can have, plexiglass basketball courts. But there is one question I do have to ask you. Do you feel as though, because the way things have gone within the youth, do you feel as though if we renovate some of these places, will they be vandalized?
Well, I really don't think so. What I think is if you renovate the places and make them really, really nice, the kids will have something pride in themselves. So for most parts, I come out here a lot. I see the kids, they just want to play basketball, and they don't want to engage in that type of accident. They want to have fun. So I think if you renovate all the courts and get everything up to stuff, kids will have something to pride.
Somebody got winners. Can't win by two.
Right now.
Game's getting a little intense out there.
Yeah.
Somebody got winners, so it can't be by no two.
So,
Every guy got winners, so it
and
can't
I
be
just
by
want to let
two.
you guys know, okay, that even though the Miami Heat are playing Indiana Pacers right now, there's a lot of people here playing basketball. You can't see it on camera. There's a lot of people here playing basketball. So it goes to show you that the NBA, it doesn't mean nothing. It's all about the love of the sport.
As you can see, the interview's kind of awkward due to positioning. You have to understand, there wasn't a cameraman there that day. So that was shot on a tripod on the sidewalk while people are walking by and cars and everything are walking by. That's all the noise you hear, okay? Now, that's not all. I have to say this now. I was a lot taller than the guy, okay? So what you don't see is me pretty much bending down. I'm kind of like slouching and bending down. And if you notice, I'm doing this a lot. I'm doing that a lot because I'm trying to stay in the frame but look at him at eye level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually kind of crouched down because he's shorter than me. So you have to understand these type of things happen. I'm also thinking about getting a little microphone, like a wireless mic to put here so you can hear me a little bit better. But like I said, that is not the entire interview. It was a great interview, all right? But I want to stay on the sports thing because I'm going to talk about this a little bit. All right, guys, I have noticed as of late, there's a lot of idiots out there who decide they just want to come in and think they know sports and don't know jack shit. We know this, okay? And we saw that last week, all right? You can't come in and call me a racist because I said Floyd Mayweather beat Cotto. I mean, that's just stupid. And then they find out later that I picked Cotto to beat Margarito. So where the racism comes in, I have no idea. Like I said, it's non-biased. I've had a lot of people as of late on Twitter try to, your documentary is going to do anything. It's not going to help people. You have to understand, if I can reach one person, which I have already, reach one person, I've done my job. I'm trying to show you guys that this is real, all right? That people actually care. For every time the city says the people don't care, citizens of Philadelphia, or people in general who don't know us, the citizens of Philadelphia don't care. This guy, I'm putting this, what you didn't see in the interview, he's already spent $35,000, $40,000 for one place to be renovated by himself. By himself. So regardless of how any person feels about that interview, he's actually making moves. It's that simple. I told you, there's people out there who do things and people who just sit around and don't do a damn thing but judge everyone else. That's what it comes down to. But I just want to show you guys that things are in the works. And I do want to talk about basketball because, like I said, even though the Heat and Pacers were playing, there was a lot of people, like I said, that's how it is here in Philadelphia. People don't care about the NBA that much because they're out playing themselves. They'll catch the highlights or whatever. You have to understand, it's about playing the sport. It's about loving the sport. That's what it comes down to. We're going to talk about this too, because it seems like there's a lot of bandwagon-ass Sixer fans. You know what? I got to get your fraud-ass fans. That's right. For those who did not see what happened, all right, we all know the Sixers, they beat the Bulls, but there were a lot of technicalities and a lot of problems that went on in that game, and some heavily blown calls. But I'll put it like this. What Malik Rose says really pisses me off as he tries to say that this isn't the NBA that he, played in.
Dealing with Gibson. Brand helping out. You can count it now, foul. Could a walk turns out to be contact. Malik, how did you see it from here?
Man, this must be like a European League. Taj Gibson, he did play through contact. There was a little bubble right here. He comes back down with the ball and goes back up with it. In the NBA I played in, that's a travel.
It's the same NBA.
No, man, no. I couldn't have done that.
What the hell is Malik Rose talking about? So he's mad because he thinks it's a travel, but actually it's not. And what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to slow it down and zoom it in for you so that you see on the first swipe, Thaddeus Young knocks the ball out of Gibson's hand. He catches it on the way down and goes back up. So it is not a travel, okay? Let's look at that real quick. So when a call doesn't go in the Sixers' favor, Malik Rose bags on the NBA. But when the Sixers, at a crucial time, gets away with a flagrant foul, he's okay with it. Arms around the neck, pulling him down. That is a flagrant foul. Yet, him and them fraud-ass fans are okay with it. I don't understand this. But yet, we have to go see Andre Iguodala try to knock down 2 at the line, which is the most sickening thing I've seen this year. We were talking about a guy just last month who bagged on all Philadelphia fans. Did he not? What did he say? Philadelphia fans would cheer for anyone even if they committed murder. That's what he said. Even if they committed murder. He's trying to say that you have no morals, and you just proved him right because he bags on you and you still cheer for him because he wins a game. That is garbage. It's absolute garbage. And you know what? And this is what I have a problem with, because a lot of you guys are saying you should just take the win event. No, you shouldn't, because you're setting a dangerous precedent. This is the reason why the NBA is as bad as it is today. Because of the fact that you're cheering it on. You condone it. All right? Make them make the right plays. Call the right calls. And yet, everyone's okay with it as long as it's in their favor. Now, if it wasn't in your favor, you'd be crying and complaining like Malik Rose was, right? Are you serious? This is not how basketball is supposed to be played. And on top of this, people, let's get something straight. On top of this, if you notice, when the shot was going up for the Bulls, Andre Iguodala didn't play defense. No. He started running over the table to jump on it because they won the first round.
Andre Iguodala was probably the 2 biggest free throws in his career. Makes them with nothing but net. Jumping on the scorer's table on the Sixers, celebrating their first advance to the second round since the season. Can you stand it, Mark?
I'm standing on my chair. That's what I'm doing.
Now we're eye level.
Even the announcers are standing up in their seats. You gotta be kidding me. You have to, come on, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is not Philly basketball, all right? You got these fraud-ass fans. You know, they weren't there since day one. And all of a sudden they're going to show up, number one. Get out of here with that, man. You got to be kidding me. What happened to the fans? Remember earlier in the season where the fans were on board because they fell for the hype, and then we had that big losing streak, they all walked away? Now they're back. You gotta be, you know, I'm gonna talk about this a little bit more, all right? Because for those who don't know, even yesterday, clear example yesterday, Sixers played the Celtics yesterday, right, in game 2. No one said anything about the Sixers all day, right? The game started, no one said anything about the Sixers. During the game, no one said anything about the Sixers. The Sixers win, Sixers, fuck the Celtics. But where do you guys come from? Where have you come from? Spamming all types of garbage. You gotta be kidding me on my timeline. This is, no. What is going on, Philly? What's good? That's not basketball. And I'll put it like this. If you can't watch basketball for the sake of the sport, if you're only to watch basketball to root on your home team, then you're not a sports fan. You're garbage, all right? Because you're a front runner at that point. You're only backing your team. I understand you want to back your home team, but if that's the only reason why you watch sports, then you're an idiot. It's that simple. But don't nobody want to hear that. But you know what? I'm going to talk a little bit more about this due to the fact that, well, you have to understand that with TNT, when I watch TNT, they have a completely different, I told you guys before, they have completely different stuff, the way they talk to ESPN and TNT compared to CSN. CSN gives you nothing about basketball knowledge. However, I will give you a small example, that's right, of what TNT showed when the Sixers played on there. So let's check that out.
Same time to start of the game for both teams. Shuffling into Garnett with a turnover. 7-10, 16 points.
A little camouflage of how they wanted to post up Barnett. They look like the pick and roll actions, what they're looking for. Dump Barnett in the weak side for the post up.
Thank you, TNT, for showing how it's done. But you know what? There was certain times where they missed, you know, certain coverage as well. Like I said, no one's perfect, you know, and they're not perfect as well. But it's better than CSN. And also, the refs missed the call. So let's see how that played out. Did you see that high dribble? That's what's called at times a palm, a carry, or in certain places that you play, actually traveling. Now, the refs missed it, but apparently the guy on the sidelines didn't miss it, and he signals for it. So what I'm going to do is show you in slow motion the actual dribble and the guy signaling in the crowd. It just goes to show you that refs miss calls. But the thing is, no one complains about the calls being missed unless it's their team that, you know, it benefits. And that's what pisses me off so much. But speaking of that, for those who don't know, Frank Vogel just came out not too long ago before the Indiana Pacers, you know, played the Heat before Game 1 and said that the Heat, all they do was flop. That's what he said. And he was fined, and he jumped on the refs about it. He was fined $15,000 for saying such things. That's right. Now, we'll put the link in the info bar for you guys. Now, it's interesting that this comes up because we talked about this about 2 weeks ago about the Heat when they played the Knicks. And Knicks fans said they were flopping. A lot of you Heat fans came in and said, look, I'm a Heat fan, but I see the flopping as well, and it needs to stop. And then you had, of course, a blind Heat fan that came in and acted like an idiot for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to discredit that guy. But you have to understand that this is something that has been going on, and now it seems like we're starting to get some type of attention for it. Because for those who don't know, I'll put it like this. LeBron James, as we know, won the MVP. And LeBron James comes out and says it doesn't matter, he wants to win a championship, which that's what it should be about. Am I correct? Okay. Now, David Stern comes out and says that flopping has become a problem and something needs to be done with it. He said instead of giving out MVPs, we need to be giving out Oscars. So he just took a shot at LeBron that quick. That's all it took, all right? But it goes to show you that now even he thinks that it's gotten out of hand. And it's funny because I'm thinking to myself, David Stern, where have you been for years? Where have you been? We've talked about this God knows how many times on the show. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. On top of, for years that people, when they play basketball outside, how much talk there is, and there's a lot of flopping going on. Just now, he's concerned, which is a joke, because I feel like this. If you were really that concerned, you'd have done something about it a long time ago, or just now. Instead of you doing an interview saying, I'm concerned, you would have just did something about it, but you didn't. You didn't. But I want to keep going on because for those who don't know, Stephon Marbury has had a statue, that's right, built for him in China because of him winning the championship over there. So they really love Stephon Marbury over there, and I think it really serves as a great example of what happens if you're disciplined. And I know you guys are going to say, Marbury disciplined? Yes. If you know, yeah, he was a wild child when he was here in the States and in New York. What happened there? We all know what happened there. But you have to understand that it takes a lot to play over in China. Look how many players during the lockout went over to China and said, I can't take this, and came back. They tried to jump out of their contracts and they couldn't take it anymore. So you have to understand, he had to learn, he had to mature in order to play there. That's what it comes down to. So I give him credit for that. Also, for those who don't know, man, Amare is taking so much heat now that New Yorkers have decided to make a diss track against him. There's a video out. I'm going to put... I'm telling you, it's hilarious. All right, it's a parody video, or whatever. It's hilarious, but the link is in the info bar for that as well. New Yorkers want Amare gone. They want him gone. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. New Yorkers, man. But I need to move on. I need to talk about Ilya Bryzgalov. That's right. For those who don't know, I'm so tired of this dude. You have no idea. For those who don't know, Ilya Bryzgalov trashes the fans again in his exit interview for the season after the Flyers lost, right? So let's get into this. Ilya Bryzgalov, in an interview, one person had said, is there anything that you could take, positive from this season? And he says, I gained invaluable experience. He's talking about the fans in the city, because he goes on to talk about, how the city booed him and how, it made him feel bad. Look, if you're mad because we booed you, that's being nice. You're lucky they didn't throw stuff at you. But you know what? It's okay. Let's keep on going. The guy asked him, he says, what can you say about yourself? You made a few mistakes. And he says, for example, like what mistakes? He says, the Clarkson goal that turned out to be the deciding one in the series. And for those who did not see that goal, because it's been played everywhere, you know what? Let's show that right now.
Number 4, Flyers Devils. This is awful. Please turn your head, Chris. Flyers goalie Ilya Bryzgalov trying to clear the puck. Hits it off David Clarkson, back to the goal. Devils win the series. Flyers going home.
At the Players' Championship, Angel Cabrera.
That's not just a mistake. That's a huge mistake. But he goes on. This is what he says. He says, yes, I made a mistake. But when a player makes a pass and an opponent intercepts it, no one says anything, right? Yeah, we do. Where have you been? We've been jumping all over defensemen for turnovers constantly. What are you talking about, Ilya Bryzgalov? But he goes on and says, I understand I'm being criticized by everyone but the lazy, but I'm trying not to think about it. This is the problem with players today. They don't know how to take criticism. And we saw this with Landry Fields from the Knicks earlier this year, where fans were getting on him about his play, and he said, I'm not going to listen to everyone. I'll just stay positive. No, you listen to criticism when you're a player, because then you can overcome that. It should be fire for you to do better, but you don't listen. You run away from it instead of embracing it. Don't you understand that? But it seems like all these athletes, you're soft. You're so soft these days. You know what? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right? It says, you came under massive pressure from the media and the fans of Philadelphia. Maybe reading newspapers wasn't worth it. He says it's difficult. Whenever you come, wherever you open, my face is everywhere. Yeah, because they made a big deal about you getting all that damn money. All right, but it says everyone is talking about me. Bryzgalov played well. Philadelphia won. But Bryz made a mistake again. Yes, because you don't know how to stop making mistakes. It says we're not expecting, shutouts every time, but for as much money as you're getting paid, you should be playing better. It says, yes, he wasn't scored against, but it could have been. It says, guys, but who doesn't make mistakes? And how many pucks did I catch before then? It says, but very few notice that. Nah. Let's get something straight here, all right? People are going to focus on the mistakes because of your status right now. They got to a point where you said yourself that you didn't even have any confidence in yourself. And then you turned around and said what? It wasn't your fault. Didn't you say that? And that the fans were scapegoating you. Didn't you say that? Okay, you said yourself that you had confidence problems, so people are going to focus on it. You have to understand that. You said it yourself. But let's keep going. All right? It says people are so concentrated on the negativity that only see the bad in me. But I think you need to be you need to be kinder to each other. So he's talking about you fans. You need to be kind. The city needs to be kinder. That's what he's saying. Bryz, you are obviously in the wrong city. Obviously. You do not need to be here as far as I'm concerned. Look what Phoenix did. They got rid of your ass and look where they're at now. Yeah. You have to understand, Bryz, that what you do is not good enough. It's not even just about you giving up goals. It's about the money you got from it and the comments that you keep making. That's what you do. And he goes on, I don't want to trash Philadelphia fans, but then proceeds to dig into them. How's that work? How? But let's keep going. They say the way goaltenders are treated in Philadelphia is different. For many years, it's been the club's Achilles heel. It says, what I lived through this season, I wouldn't wish to any enemy. You are soft. Don't tell me that just because a couple people boo you, that all of a sudden you wouldn't wish on any enemy. You know what? You don't wish death on people. You don't wish, you know what I mean, severe problems. Your problem is that you didn't play consistently. There's a problem with that, with everyone. And I also put it like this, Bryzgalov, because I'm not going to read the rest of the interview. The links will be in the info bar. If you have such a problem with playing, you know, or reception that everyone you think is going to hold your hand, it's not going to happen. All right? It's just not going to. What you fail to realize is that you're a goalie, and you understand he's not a robot. He's not, look, you know what? Why don't you go tell that robot shit to the guy right now who's probably out there shoveling shit for like $5 an hour? Why don't you tell that to him? He's not trying to hear that you get paid $50+ million to stop a puck, which you can't even do that, all right? No one is going to feel sorry for you when you're getting paid chunks of money. Nobody. I don't care about Bryzgalov. At this point, I have so much hate for Bryzgalov. I have Mike Tyson hate for Bryzgalov. I want to eat his kids. You get what I'm saying? Like, he needs to go. It's sickening. I don't care about him. I will never care about him. After the season, I will never care about him. They're already saying that, you know, he will be the starting goalie next year. Paul Holmgren came out and said, yeah, it's funny to hear what Bryzgalov has to say at times, but this isn't Comedy Central. Pretty much, shut up. That's what he's telling you. And you don't know when to stop speaking. I don't care how colorful he is. I just want him to get in net and stop pucks. That's his job. If he can't do it, find someone else who can. That's simple. I understand now he's not going to stop them all right? I was pretty fair in that second round. I was pretty fair with him when we were talking on Twitter, you know, when the defensive breakdowns and things of that nature. There was times where he wasn't paying attention and Kimo wasn't paying attention, Timonen wasn't paying attention, and you got to blame both of them, not just one. But you have to understand, for you to sit here, and man, this is the problem with athletes, because once these generalizations again, once said that we didn't complain about intercepted pucks, yes, we did. I don't know where this guy gets this from, but I'm just sick of him. I'm tired of him. Next season, I probably if I even see a Bryzgalov fan, like I said, because there were a lot in the stands during the playoffs chanting Bryz, Bryz, Bryz. Every time I see a fan at a stadium wearing a jersey, I'm gonna let them know what's up. I'm sick of this. Anyways, I'm done, man. I will talk more hockey later this week. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out.